Good. Well, it's not really a good morning, but it's the evening. This is Kevin O'Brien. I'm not with Wayne Middleton, but this is the new format for the SMB Acceleration Show. Wayne and I, like many of you, have been kind of caught up the last couple weeks. We put the show kind of on pause, and we're getting about to get back into it. Still, we're planning on it, but like everybody, trying to get schedules together takes some effort, especially in a new day and a new time. As we've shared, we both are parents, both have commitments now as far as playing teacher with the homeschooling and everything. But I kind of had this revelation over the last couple weeks, especially over the weekend. I was talking to two different people, and both of them brought up that they were working on new businesses with the time they have now because they're not commuting, and all of a sudden they found themselves with this extra block of time. And both of them said very similar things to me. They said, you know what, I love the show. I love what Wayne and you do. You give a lot of options for people to get started. But if you were to start a project, how would you go about doing it? So it was kind of coincidental that they asked that because I recently just started working on a new personal project, and I thought it would make a great series of videos to do. So what I'm going to do is kind of bring a new format. Wayne and I are still going to go back to the other, the older format of him and I discussing things, the news, everything. But this is going to be kind of a format where I'm going to walk through how I would approach starting a new business, building a new website, starting social media profiles, everything kind of wrapped up that goes into it. So Wayne is definitely going to join me for some. There's plenty I'm going to actually need some feedback from his design angle as far as creating a logo for this new business. What I'm doing as far as my personal project is a new real estate site. As many people know, and as I've mentioned multiple times on the show, I have a background in real estate. I owned a residential real estate company on the Outer Banks of North Carolina, and I kind of grew the whole business through social media, SEO, and kind of thinking outside the box. So ever since then, I've been really gotten into building websites when I have a new idea. When I worked in insurance, I worked as a marketing coordinator for a global insurance company, and part of the job requirement was to get a insurance license. And over time, getting that insurance license led me to building an insurance website. And same kind of thing. I worked with someone who was interested in buying off market real estate, and that became a website. So over time, I've worked on a lot of projects even outside of my agency background and working within organizations. So I thought it would be a great series to kind of go through. Hey, if you're working on a project, the thing was, like I mentioned, give me specifics. How exactly are you going to go about executing on creating this new website? So the new website I'm working on is a website around commercial real estate and primarily warehouses. I kind of think that we can see maybe a commercial real estate trend towards people wanting more warehouses, as long as I think we'll see a lot of systemic changes within within the demand for e-commerce, both from manufacturing side and also small business side. But a lot of people now have been exposed to purchasing things online, so I don't think that's going to slow down. As I mentioned, my background's in real estate. I also work for a commercial real estate company. I have a Pennsylvania license. I have a North Carolina broker's license. So I have a background in real estate, commercial, and residential. So I really wanted to start building this website. So kind of as I'm going through the process of building that website, I'm going to use that as an example for future, shows. So I'm going to go across everything I use and, the exact platform, and we'll kind of go through it like that. And then as people have questions, you can feel free to email me, Kevin at smbacceleration.com, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have about using the platforms and all. I'll give you a little insight. I always use WordPress. That is my default. Though I, have done plenty of projects in Wix or Squarespace, my personal preference, though there is a learning curve, is WordPress. I think it gives me the most options long term for building out a site and adding additional functionality potentially as needed. And when I was working in real estate, one of the things was always having an IDX. I've always been a big believer in the search engine optimization value of having an IDX on your website, and have often pay excellent third-party companies for it, but I've also, kind of played around with different versions for WordPress. There were no, real examples I have of using anything but WordPress. And I think though it's a small one, it kind of WordPress also offers e-commerce functionality, in addition to the real estate type functionality. And having all those options really give you kind of the most long-term bang for the buck without having to start from scratch. I know a lot of, it's kind of a little off the topic, but a lot of app developers or people that have a great idea, that have an idea to build an app, will often kind of build the CMS of the app into the app, build a CMS in. But I think a lot of times, especially on the marketing side, WordPress offers so much that it's kind of an instant plug and play. I mean, I've gone back so far as using kind of a hacked together version of WordPress over about 13 years ago, building a vacation rental website. So it's what I probably feel the most comfortable with, though I will tell you, in this project, like any, I definitely always run into learning curves with using new plugins or a new builder or something of the sort. So I'm looking forward to sharing with everybody my kind of journey of going through this, what I'm going to use, and setting it all up. So the next show we'll kind of go through getting set up and getting ready to begin building the website. Everything that kind of goes into the initial process of domain selection and everything like that. So keep an eye out. Like I said, along the way, I will be sharing the website URL I'm building, and I'm happy to, give any feedback on anybody who is also looking to follow along and do the same. And, maybe you have an idea for a new project or something you want to work, or a business you want to test, or a business idea you want to validate, you need a website, feel free to kind of work along with me, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully get some people getting some business started. So I appreciate everybody. Looking forward to doing some future episodes. Look forward to getting back with Wayne and doing this. And so if you're interested in kind of looking at a way to build a business, tune in. Thanks.